Oreo.
Hi, I wonder, how many of y'all have ever felt like you were in a position or in a situation, you can come, when you just had this weird feeling going on inside of you, like things should just go on, Oreo, that things should just constantly be going so great for you, going so smooth for you, going so wonderful for you, that everything is just always so perfect for you, that everything is always just chugging along because you want it, because you said so, because it just should keep happening that way, that things should always be so perfect with you, that things should always be going so smoothly with you, that you just have absolutely no problems, having no situations, having no mishaps, having no irregularities, and just everything being so right and so perfect and always just pristine. And I wonder how many of y'all feel that way because of a specific word that I want to talk about today, and that word being entitlement. My name is Mark Anthony DeBose Jr., and I was born July 4th of 1986. Today has been a very interesting day because today I've had to change up some stuff that I've been working on and change up some things that I've been doing and change up some things that I've been thinking about because a lot has shifted. A lot has shifted in just one single day. A lot has shifted into being something that I'm just like not in control at all, even more. That things are just so out of my hands, that things are just out of my league even, that I don't know why I felt like me, myself, Mark Anthony DeBose Jr. was able to actually just make it all happen and get it all done. And I felt like I was able to do that because I felt entitled. I felt entitled because I feel like it should be mine. It should just happen. Because I said so, it should just happen. Because I thought about it, it should just happen. Because I want it to be that sort of way, it should just happen. There should be no mishaps, no confusions with that. It should just happen because I just said so, dang it. I said so and it should be that way. And if it doesn't go that way, then I'm gonna have to throw a tantrum and just go crazy and go wild and have a meltdown and get irritated, get frustrated, and turn into rage mode and start yelling at everybody and start getting irritated and start doing all kinds of stuff because I want it now. I feel like I ran into a situation that I feel like a lot of us run into when things just aren't going the way that we thought we wanted to go. But the biggest part about this that I feel like things don't go the way that we say want it to go because we're trying to do some stuff that is just way far beyond our scope of realm that we are actually able to take care of and able to be able to do on this planet, that we are out here trying to do some things and do some stuff that is just like miracle work in reality, that we're out here trying to do some, hey guys, come back over here. We're out here trying to do some stuff that there's just no way impossible that we can do on our own, that we can just make happen on our own, that we could just have no other way and no other about it, but just being done on our own, that we need some help and we need some guidance and we need someone to be able to push us, to be able to get us what it is that we're looking for and be able to get us into a better position, a better place to be able to make happen what it is that we need to make happen. And I feel like a lot of us are kind of looking for another human being to be able to do that, and another presence to be able to help us out with that. Where I would say that human being does have, say, the skills and the funds and the knowledge to be able to help you. But how are you ever going to link up with that person if you're thinking that you want to do it and you need it and you got to have it, and you may link up with the wrong person? And that's something for me that I felt like I had to really slow down a little bit because I started talking and intermingling and wanting to put myself in the middle of something that I shouldn't be in, because that might be putting me into something that is actually even more damaging, that is even way more destructive, because I feel entitled that I got it right, I know it's good, I know everything, I got it figured out, I'm the one, I know it all, I'm just the master, I'm the king of the kings, I got it all dialed in, I got it all figured out. And it's like, hold on, but if you put all that information around the wrong people, those people are not going to appreciate you. They're not going to care because they're going to look at you like you're entitled. Like you think that you just know it all, like you have it all and you're just the best of the best. And that can set you up for a very, very sticky situation where I feel like you got to like slow it down a little bit and you got to dial it down a little bit. You got to dial it back. You got to put it down. You got to just relax and you just got to allow God to be able to make it work, because then he's going to start to be able to put you around the right people that you really need to start working with, and putting you around the right people that are really going to be able to help you out with doing what it is that you need to do on this planet. And I feel like, how many of y'all are out there trying to push so hard, trying to get stuff done so hard? You know what's so crazy to me? The whole one word, entitlement, today just really came to me because when I was sitting at a stop sign, I stopped and I looked around and I decided to go. And there's a car over here that was still rolling. And he came to a stop. He didn't stop. He was still rolling. And I was already stopped and I went ahead. And he looked at me with this like rage, like I was supposed to wait on him because it was his road. And he was the only one able to do what he wanted on his road that I was already stopped. And you know how that works. You know the situation that comes down with that. But it's just like, it very, very so much confuses me on how people act that way, how people feel that way, how people feel like everything is just theirs and theirs and theirs, and no one else can be able to be a part of it and be able to share it. And just feeling like they just know it all, and they should be able to have it all, and they should be able to just experience it all because they're just the best of the best. But I'm telling you, you're not. And if you're around people like that all the time that are just so pushy, that are just trying to get it done, I'm telling you what, you might be setting yourself up for absolute failure with trying to be able to get your point across with what it is you're trying to do with people, because they feel so entitled. They feel like they already know it. But it's like, I run into this situation, I feel like a lot when I work with people and work with their dogs, that, as much as I like to say I help everybody, I'm not going to help everybody. And I'm purposely not going to help certain people on this planet because you have this level of entitlement inside of you that is just so hard to be able to deal with. And it's so hard to be able to figure out how to be able to work with people like this, because you come into them and they're asking you for help. They're asking you for assistance. They're asking you for your knowledge, and because you know what you're doing and they don't know what's going on. But yet when you go and try to help them, they start telling you how to do it. They start explaining to you how to get it done. They start showing you the ropes of like, oh, do it like this, do it. It's like, hold on a second. I thought you were the one that needed the help. That's why your dog is looking crazy. That's why your dog doesn't walk calmly on a leash. That's why your dog doesn't come back to you. But if you knew it all already, then why am I here trying to help you out, trying to do something for you? And that's just, it's not a thing of, I feel like people just want to be disrespectful. I just feel like it's a sense of entitlement that people have, where they just don't want to listen, even though they can see what's going on, even though they can see the magic happening, even though they can see things going really, really good for them, where they just have this inside of them that I don't know why. I feel like I want to talk about this today, but I feel like I ran into this a lot in the past year of working with people, especially with their dogs. I've never had this issue with working with painting cabinets, with painting walls, with doing any kind of construction work, with doing any kind of automotive work. I never ran into a situation like this with any of that. I always, not always, but I most always run into situations like this when I work with people and their dogs. And it's a very interesting situation, because it's like, if you already knew it all, like, I understand. You feel a little embarrassed. You feel a little, that's the one best word that I can use right there. You feel very embarrassed with how your animal is acting. And when someone comes in to show you how to do it that's so simple to how to be able to fix some things, then you just kind of like feel a little like even more embarrassed, because you're like, man, it's that easy? It's that easy to get them to do that. It's that easy to be able to do that, but yet I haven't been doing that. And I'm like, yeah, it is that easy. It is that simple. It is that just laid back. It is that just carefree. It is. But you just not doing it is setting you up. Hey, Oreo, what you chewing on? You good. And it's just you not doing it is just setting you up for absolute failure. It's setting you up for absolute destruction. It's setting you up for a way in a being that's just driving you crazy. It's driving you wild. And you just keep on doing some things because you feel super entitled. You feel entitled to the point that everything should just be done for you. It should just be simple. It should be easy. I don't know why I'm struggling, and I don't know why it's hard. It should just happen the way it should happen. My dog should look like yours, and I shouldn't have to do anything, and because I don't see that you're doing anything, so I don't understand why mine's not like yours and yours isn't like mine. And you just start getting into very, very sticky situations in life because you just think that things should just happen to you just because. That things should just happen just because you woke up, and it just should be that way. And I'm going to tell you, that's just not the way this world works. That's just not how things are out here. And I feel like more and more of us are running into a situation where we're just getting deeper and deeper into this. We're feeling like things should just happen just because. I should get this just because. I should do this because I just showed up. And it's getting very interesting, because I hear this is going on a lot with a lot of workplaces. And I just listened to a fantastic book about that, Andrew Carnegie. And the guy back in the 1800s that started up the steel mill, and the way he started doing his work was performance-based. And a lot of y'all don't like that, because a lot of y'all just want to show up and just get paid. Like, just show up and get things, make stuff happen, and show up and get a paycheck. Or things are starting to change where you got to actually get some stuff done. You got to actually perform to get that paycheck now. You're not just there. So there's a whole new sense of reality that's starting to hit in, where I feel like people that are stuck in this whole I'm entitled to are really going to start getting destroyed, are really going to start getting damaged, are really going to start getting beat down really, really bad, because the world is not going to start to just give you just because. The world is going to start demanding some things for that just because. And it's just going to start getting more and more complicated the more and more that we keep on going on this planet, because things are getting exciting for me personally. Exciting in a way that if you don't have a skill to be able to put out there, you're no longer going to be able to make it, because every other country out there is able to take care of the stuff that we got to take care of in the United States of America at this point. That we don't need to build anything, create anything, do anything, make any phone calls. We don't need to do anything anymore. We get all that everywhere else. And that's starting to become more and more and more mainstream, to the point that it's starting to get destructive, I guess, in a way, for a lot of people that don't want to actually go out and actually do something and get a skill and learn something and make something happen. Because you have this sense of entitlement, like, I'm here, it should be mine, it should be simple, it should just happen, it should just be because it should just be there. And I don't know. But I definitely know that I grew up in a different kind of household, because I didn't grow up with no mindset like this. I didn't grow up with no attitude like this. I knew that everything I had to do every single day and every single moment as a child, I had to do something to make something happen, to be able to get something. Like, in reality, not that I was scared or didn't worry. Like, my parents never, sometimes they made us, like, eat too much. We had that problem. We couldn't throw anything away. And even if you were full, you had to eat it. But at the same time, for me to be able to eat that meal, there's things I had to do to be able to make that happen. That didn't just show up. I had to make sure that I was going to school and everything was okay. I had to make sure that I was doing all good. I had to make sure I wasn't talking back to no mom and no dad. I had to make sure that I wasn't fighting with no brother and no sister. I had to make sure I wasn't fighting with nobody else and doing anything crazy and doing anything wild. I had to make sure that a lot was going on to make sure that I could get what it is that I needed to get, that it just didn't come to me. That I had to make sure that all the extras and the little accessories that I got, the clothes and the shoes and the underwears and the pants and everything like that I was able to get, the toys and all that stuff was able to come to me because of the extras that I was doing and how great I was actually performing and getting stuff done. That it didn't just come to me just because. I didn't just go to sleep, wake up, it just came to me. Where I feel like I run into a situation today with some of the money that comes to me where it seems that way, but I have to take it back for a second and just realize, like, it isn't that way. That something had to happen for that to be able to happen, for the situation to be able to be the way that it is, for it to be able to continue to be going on that way. And it just puts me into a whole lot of thought that a lot of us really think that we just do not have to do anything, that we should just get paid, that we should just have no sacrifice at all ever, and we should just get paid. That, Johnny, get off me, man. That we should just be able to go to sleep and wake up and we should just get paid. And that should just be the way that we live our life and the way that things should be. And I should be able to go to a workplace and get a job for a weekend and then get fired or quit and then just keep getting paid from that. Like, we run into a very, very high level entitlement that I think that we need to start re-looking and rethinking who we are as a human being and start to assess the things that we need to really start taking care of on this planet. And the first thing I'm going to say is to start taking care of that is to start, guys, people, women, ladies, children, start having a good understanding of knowing who God is, who the Creator is, what He's all about. Because He's going to be able to start to lead you into doing something that you should be doing on this planet, and things that you should be running away from and getting away from, and you should be doing some stuff on this planet that is just open, awesome, and great, and amazing, and creative, and loving to other people, and not try to be in a destructive type situation, in a destructive type system. Because that's, for me, where I just come to realize a lot of, say, business that I've done in my life, I've just never pushed it to that next bubble, because I would always run. Yeah, you'll be all right down there. Because I would always get to a certain threshold. Like, I'd start here and everything is going good, and I'd get to that point that everything's cool, and then I would always get to a point that's just like, I can't do because I cannot manipulate. I cannot force upon people things that they don't really need, to just try to get more money, to try to get a bigger income, to try to just push it even more, push it even further. The same way that I know that everybody does in business to be able to do what they got to do. But if I know that there's a free book out there for you to be able to read, to be able to get some good information, I'm not going to sell you that free book for $5 just because I know you don't know that there's a free edition out there. I just feel like that's lying, that's manipulation, and business just does that all day and every day, because they feel like they're entitled to be able to do as such, because if you don't know, then it's okay. But if you know yourself, it's just hard for me to just push that forward and be able to make that happen. So I wonder, how many of us run into a situation where we feel like we got something, we want to do it, but then you just feel a little like, I can't lie to people. I can't manipulate people. I can't cheat people. I can't force people to do something that they don't want to do. I can't beat them into submission and try to make them do what it is that I want them to do. I can't just do that. That you need something. And I feel like that's where, when you really start to have a good understanding of God, that's when you start to push into more of what it is that you should be doing, as opposed to what it is that you shouldn't be doing. And you're going to start having a higher moral compass of understanding of how to actually be able to help people in the business that you're trying to do, as opposed to how to destroy other people and just try to just damage everybody along the way with what it is that you're doing, with what it is that's going on. And with that said, I want to do a whole change up real quick on talking about entitlement and talking about certain things that I feel like me, myself, I ran into a whole lot of this situation in my life where I felt like things should just be mine and things should just be the way it is and things should just happen the way it should happen. But I also noticed that there's a weird thing that goes on this planet that if you are not a color of me, especially a color of me, I'm so strange, I guess, in reality, especially for my age. My age and being this color is not normal. There's a lot more young 20-year-olds and below right now that are of the mixed color, but people in our 30s and close to our 40 years old and in their 40s that are mixed, they're kind of a strange color. And I run into a situation where I feel like entitlement really does change based on what it is that you look like. And it's unfortunate that it's that way, but it's fortunate for some of us to be able to do what it is that we do to make sure that we can keep on doing what it is that we want to do and don't have to worry about what the rest of the people are saying and what the rest of the people want. Because I just noticed for me and myself, certain things that certain people feel like they should have because of whatever they look like. And other people feel like they can't have because of whatever they look like. And then we got all around the mix of that. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter today anymore. There used to be a time in the day where I'll say if you were lighter and whiter in color that you had more access. I'm going to say today that's probably more false. Because I know many people that went to school for free, that got free meals, that got free all kinds of stuff just because they were dark, just because they were colored. So that's something that's just very, very interesting. I think a lot of people don't quite really truly understand with what's going on this planet. But I do know something about entitlement. And I do know something about some people that just feel like they are totally entitled because of what it is that they look like. And I'm going to say that in a sense of not color, but what it is that their dress looks like, what it is their shoes are wearing, what kind of pants they got on, what kind of jacket they got on, what kind of jewelry they're wearing, what kind of watch they have, what kind of any of their accessories they have, what kind of car they have, what any of that. That if you come with a nice car, you have this sense of entitlement inside of you that just says everybody's got to move out of my way, and I'm the one, I'm the king, I'm the queen, I'm the only thing on the road, and everybody's got to get out of here and got to get off of me. And I wonder, why is it that I feel like a lot of this is just really going on nowadays, that if you don't have the latest accessories, if you don't have the latest fashion, if you don't look like everybody else, that you just get singled out and you just get pushed back to the side as if you were nobody and nothing. And that's something that's very, very interesting to me, because I feel like that's just such a crazy intense amount of entitlement that goes on inside of people, where they feel like they should have more because they look like a certain image, they have a certain thing, they wear a certain pair of shoes, that they should be able to have a better time on this planet. And I'm going to tell you, that's something that is some very, very false information. I feel like it's starting to be spread. That's starting to get pushed real hard on our lives in our day-to-day business today. That's just getting really, really challenged, that I think a lot of people are starting to feel really, really defeated, because you're constantly out there getting more and more stuff, but you're not actually going out there and getting more and more skills. And the more and more skills is what's going to be able to get you to move forward and get away from that I'm entitled, that I should just have just because, and actually be able to have just because. Because you should be out there and be able to do and get some stuff done and be able to make some stuff happen, and not having the feeling inside of you like it should just come to you, because things are not just going to come to you. Things are not just going to come to you because you got a $300 pair of pants on, or an $800 pair of shoes on, or a $15,000 chain on, or a $5,000 watch on. Things are not just going to happen for you and come to you. And I feel like a lot of us are running into situations where you think that if I just had this, then I'll be okay. If I just had that, then I'll be able to make some stuff happen. And I'm telling you, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for a whole lot of anger in reality, because you're going to realize that as soon as you get that watch, there's a newer one, or a different style, or a different way about it, or something new that someone wants to be able to see that everybody has, that it's no longer going to be a cool thing anymore, that it's no longer going to be something that's super exciting anymore, that you thought that you got it all done, you thought that it was great, you thought it was awesome, but then you realize like, now it's no good. Like something even like marking your body up, like getting tattoos all over the place. There's a time in the day that tattoos were like no-go. They were like, nobody does this. No one in the world, like my parents in reality, their era, they're living, whoever's born in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. All them days don't do tattoos are like you are a rebel, basically, I guess is a nice word to use with that is a no-go. But then nowadays it's kind of like if you don't have any, it's like you behind, and you're not keeping up with times, and you're not able to be cool with all the cool people, basically, because you don't have any, you don't have nothing. And I'm telling you, there's going to be a time in the day that's going to be a fashion that's going to go right back to the same old thing again, because it's like, ladies, when y'all 60 years old and 50 years old and even 40 years old, you having all these tattoos all over the place, just think about the future, please. Think about the future. Stop thinking about right now, right here, right now. You got this tattoo on you that says love or peace, and it's like, think about yourself when you're 60 years old with 14 that might be many grandkids, but who knows how many kids you got. You might have 3 or 4 kids, and those 3 kids all have 5 kids, and you got a whole lot of grandkids, and all your grandkids gonna look at the back of your leg or on your body and just look at you and say, Grandma, what is that? And you're going to have some interesting stories to be able to tell and be able to share. And I feel like a lot of us are running into situations where we're just doing some stuff because we want to, like, say, be with the trends so that we can not fall behind, so that we can still keep getting the access that we want, so that we can still keep staying in our level and sense of entitlement. And that sense of entitlement, I feel like, is false. It's fake. It's not reality at all in any sort of way. It's not something that we should be striving to try and make sure that we should just have just because, and things should just come to us just because. And like, that's not the way that this world works. It's not how things happen. It's not how the situation on this planet is. And it's something that we need to work really hard to start making sure that we are trying to pay more attention to what it is that we need to start working on, getting some skills for our own selves, instead of relying on someone else to be able to give those skills to us, because no one's going to. There's something going on. This is why I say that next year is going to be an amazing year. But for some of us, it's going to be a very, very challenging, very, very struggling year, because something's going on that we're no longer working. We're no longer working. Your job that you have and the things that you think that you do, you no longer need it. We don't need that work anymore. We don't need fast food workers anymore. They're going to have that all automated probably ASAP soon. You don't need no more cooks in the back. They don't need no more people taking no cash, no cards, no nothing in the front. They don't need nobody taking the orders anymore. They're gonna not need any of that. They're not gonna need anybody to stock up any stores anymore for any groceries or any toys or any clothes or anything. It's not gonna be there anymore. And things are gonna really start changing that. I feel like we're gonna really start to utilize some new skills and a whole new mindset, and stop thinking that things are just going to be given to us and things are just going to be there for us, that we're going to have to learn a whole new different skill set and trade set to be able to start making some things happen on this planet, or some of us are just going to be struggling like absolute crazy. And that's why, for me, the more and more that I feel like I'm dialing down and kind of going backwards, kind of going back in the day in reality with what it is that I do out here, with taking care of these animals and making sure and caring for some stuff. And I'm telling you that that's going to be some premium work here in the future, that people are going to be begging for that. People are going to be begging me, say, Mark, Mr. Mark, can I please come and work on that farm with you and start doing something so that I can feed my family tonight? Like, that's going to be something that a lot of people are going to be just wishing and needing and wanting to be about. And that's why, even for me now, I'm already thinking about getting another. Actually, I got to call that order in. I think I'm already going to call that order in and get another 360 eggs of some egg layers, and start raising those out to start growing up a good 300 size flock of egg layers, so I can start having about 300 eggs a day getting laid out. That sounds like something to me that just sounds like super awesome. So it's something that I really want to be able to have and be able to dial in and be able to have some fun with, to be able to keep on cruising with, to keep on experimenting with, to keep on making sure that when someone in the future is feeling like they need something, when someone in the future is feeling like they're without, that I've got something to be able to do. I got something to be able to make something happen. And that's something for, I feel like, a lot of us, that we really need to start taking a good hard look at what it is that we have, what it is our skills are, what it is that we're capable of doing, to make sure that we're constantly doing something different and not just expecting things to just come to us, because it just should happen to us. It just should be there for us, and it just should happen. And with that said, I want to say something about this Bible verse that is very interesting to me today, that I was reading, that really put me into a whole lot of thought. Put me in a whole lot of thought, in a way of thinking like, this is crazy. Like, this is true. This is wild. But I want to read this right here. And it comes in the book of, I believe it's in the book of Matthew. It's the book of Matthew. And it's something in, what chapter are we in? We in the 12th chapter and the 2nd verse. It's something that's just very interesting to me, that just really put a lot of thought in me. Put a lot of thought in me, because it makes me feel a lot about like what it is. Let me just read this. But this is in Luke 12, verse 2. There is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known. What you said in the dark will be heard in the daylight, and what you have whispered in the ear of the inner rooms will be proclaimed from the roofs. And that's something for me that's just, when I read that, I was just like, whoa, holy shucks, like, what's going on here? What's happening here? What is it that is really meaning for a lot of us, and a lot of us to really start to take into heart, to start focusing on what it is that we should really start dialing in on, and to make sure that we're doing good on this planet. And for me, that makes me just feel like being very, very cautious even more. Even though I'm not, say, doing different things that I do in another place, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I be a little more firm with some things that I'm working with and working around than when I'm just around other people. I do little things a little differently. I put a little extra into some things. Not firm in a way of like being meaner or ruthless or anything like that, but just being firm, being more picky, being more precise, being more exact, being more dead on, being more willing to understand and make sure that what it is that I'm working on is kind of coming to the level of perfection, as opposed to just me doing what I'm doing and kind of just the whole concept that I said before of the whole 80-20 of making sure that that you're kind of good, but you just don't be perfect with it. That sometimes when I just do things behind scenes, I do things perfect. I do things a little too far. I go a little deep. I dig deep sometimes with a lot of things that I do and a lot of things that I take care of. That I wonder how many of y'all really do that you are one person one way, and then you do something different in another place. And then I feel like a lot of us really run into a situation where we do that because we don't know how say the world is going to react, and how the world is going to respond, how the world is going to be with what it is that I'm doing, with how it is that I am as a person. I don't know if they're, like, say, ready for me yet. I don't know if they're going to be able to deal with me. I don't know if they're going to be able to handle what it is that I'm really trying to be able to put out there and trying to get done. I don't know if you're ready to actually deal with the consequences at the same time. And the consequences, a lot of people look at consequences like it's just some bad stuff, but some good stuff with some consequences as well. That consequences can be the same thing as being consistent. That sometimes there's a consequence for your own self, your own being, to try to get things to be a certain way, Oreo, a certain way that you want them to be. Oreo. A certain way that you want things to be, that you gotta dig deep. You gotta do a little extra. You gotta do a little more. And I wonder how many of y'all do the same stuff all the time. Think about the same stuff all the time. When you are hanging out with your girlfriend or your wife or your husband or your boyfriend, are you constantly doing the same stuff around them that you do with your friends? Or do you do different stuff? Are you two different people? Because if you're two different people, I'm telling you, you probably struggling. You probably hurting. You probably feeling like you don't know how to be able to keep up with what it is that you do. If you're doing something different here and you're doing something different there. And that's for me. Just feel like sometimes I've done some stuff where I'm going to say I've done some stuff. I don't do some stuff, but I've done some stuff. And that's why I feel like things that are hidden can come out to be known. Things that I've done that have been really damaging. Things that I've done that were really ruthless. Things that I've done were really neglectful. Things that I've done were stuff that's just like so mean and so evil in reality that there's just no reason why a human being should do such a thing. And it's like, it's something so interesting to me to be able to openly express and say a lot of things that I've dealt with and done and been through, and why things happen the way they happen and why things come the way they come, to be able to make sure that I'm as transparent as absolute possible can be. That I'm not some perfect person on this planet. I'm not some supreme being on this planet. I'm not some just always perfect type person on this planet. I've done a lot of bad things and I've done a lot of good things. Do I focus on the, say, bad things that I've done in my life? Not really. I look at it for 5 seconds and I'm just like, okay, let's move on, because I learned that not to do that, and then now we move on to do something completely different now. Now, if you're a person that's just constantly still doing that same old again, I see a big, huge situation with that. But for me, I feel like there's a lot that I've done that I feel like I can say that I regret, but at the same time, no. Because when I look at what I have today, when I pay attention to what it is that I'm doing today, I'm glad for the way that things have always happened, regardless of anything that seems negative, seems bad, seems sticky, seems irritating, seems ruthless, seems anything. I'm very happy for the way that things are cruising along right now with how things are, because I wouldn't be here doing what I'm doing. And in reality, I may have been taking longer or shorter in a negative way, or longer in a negative way, to be able to get to doing what it is that I'm doing. That sometimes we just need to really take a good hard look at what we've done and who we were, to make sure that we're not defining ourselves for what it is that we've done, but we're defining ourselves of what it is that we're about to do. And I think that a lot of us run into sticky situations when we're constantly doing that, when we're just thinking about, I did this wrong, I did that wrong, I'm no good with this, I'm no good with that, instead of looking at all the things that you're doing that are actually fantastic, that are just so cool, that are so smooth, that are so amazing, that are just leading you into a very high level of success to be able to move forward on this planet. And that's something that I think that a lot of us really need to take into good heart, that you've done a lot of things that you probably shouldn't have done. You've done a lot of things that you don't even want to admit to. You've done a lot of things that are like, I don't know. But that doesn't define who you are at all as a person in any sort of way. That there's some things that you've done that when someone else finds out about that you did that, it's like, okay, great. Now let's move on to where we're going. Because if I was still doing that, you would have a different story to tell about that. But I did that. So now we're on a whole different realm of life of what it is that we're going. Because if I'm still doing a certain thing, then yeah, I expect to have a whole lot of backlash and a whole lot of negativity and a whole lot of things said to me about, oh, Mark, you're still doing that. And I'm like, yeah, I am still doing that. But if I decide to make a change, to do something different, then yeah, that's where I feel like the beauty of life really starts to happen. The beauty of life really starts to become, because that's where I feel like that word, entitlement, really starts to just get diminished from you, from your presence, from yourself, to make you understand to move forward and get forward and start to do better things on this life. That I'm not entitled because of the things that I've done, or the things that people have done to me even. Like some people have done some damaging things to me. Doesn't mean that I'm entitled to anything on this planet because someone did something mean to me. I just have to make happen and do what I got to do and force upon what it is that I need to make happen to make sure that I'm good to go. That I shouldn't expect someone to just give to me because of something that they've done to me. Or I shouldn't expect someone for me to get, I shouldn't ever expect the opposite side of that as well. Me to give something to somebody because of something that happened before that just has nothing to do with what's going on. And I feel like we run into very, very sticky situations a lot because we're always feeling such entitlement. Like, I should be able to have this because you did this, and I should have this because you did that. And it's something that is just so damaging. It's so ruthless. It's just so Johnny, done. Oreo, here. I appreciate you just hanging out. Get down. You get down. And it's something that I think that a lot of us really need to start focusing on, paying a little more attention to about what it is that we do on a day-to-day basis, and who it is that we hang out with, and what it is that we think that we should be doing and should be having based on what it is that you think you have your level of entitlement. That you're not entitled to anything on this planet in reality, because God made it, God created it, and He's the one that's going to be able to open it up and give it to you and be able to give you the great things that are going to be able to continue to keep coming to you. That if you feel like it should be yours and you should be able to get it and you should be able to have it and you should be able to force yourself to just always keep being consistent with it, that God's like, hey buddy, like, you thought you was in control, or am I in control? And that's where I feel like that level of entitlement really should start just dropping down, or just let it go. Just understand that this isn't in your control, that allow God to be able to take control. And then if you do want it to be in your control, just keep struggling. Keep struggling. Keep living that weird, crazy, chaotic life that you've been living. Keep going that route. But if you want to allow God to be able to take control and be able to make some stuff happen, just know that you are not entitled to anything that's out here. That He gave you this as an option, as a choice, as an awesome miracle to be able to do what it is that we're doing out here, to be able to take care of what it is that we're able to take care of out here, for us to be able to stand next to these trees, to be able to breathe this air, and be able to do what it is that we're doing. That it's an absolute miracle that we're able to do such a thing. And I think that a lot of us really need to just really take a step back and just understand that alone is what we should just be focusing more and more upon, instead of focusing on all this other stuff out here and these other items out here and these other things out here, thinking that you should just have it, it should just be for you, should just always have just because. And you're not just going to always have just because. There's a reason behind everything, and there's some things that in reality sometimes when you don't have, there's a very big reason for that as well, to be able to push you forward, to be able to do what it is that you need to do, to be able to make sure that you're ready for that next step that's going to be able to come to you, that's going to happen for you, that you got what you need, and you're going to be able to make happen what it is you need to make happen. With that said, I just want to say thank you, God, for allowing me to be able to have another day, another amazing day, another glorious day, another day of being able to experience something different. You know, today has been something new, something very new, something that I haven't dealt with in, I don't know when the last time I had to deal with this, but something completely new that just really put a challenge in me. It just said, slow down, Mark, pump your brakes, man, slow down. It's all going to be okay. Just calm it down. And just really slowed me down a second to just really humble me a little bit, to really just get me to understand how great this life actually truly really is. That sometimes I'm always in this rush, and that to me just made me feel like Mark Anthony DuBose Jr. was entitled. I had this entitlement mindset, this entitlement mentality that I was just like, yeah, I should get it, man. I should have it now, right now. And I feel like I ran into a sticky situation with my own self, and having a communication with God today that I felt like I needed to slow it down, and I did slow it down, and I did get humbled, and I did learn a lot, and I did be able to relax and be able to figure out a whole new path and a whole new way of being to be able to get some things done. That I greatly appreciate being able to have what it is I have and do what it is that I do. I greatly appreciate being able to have these two dogs, because the more and more that I'm keep on working with them, the more I realize that they're helping me so much. Both of these two right here are helping me so much to be able to do what it is that I do out here, to be able to keep getting me to learn more about myself and learn more about what it is that I'm capable of doing, learn more about how to be able to take care of myself and how I'm going to be able to take care of other people in the future. That if I get frustrated with them, that means I'll get frustrated with another person. And I used to get frustrated with this dog here all the time, and that's why I praise God and thank him so much for being able to give me this specific dog, because there's certain dogs that can take pressure. Not pressure beating them and being hard on them and yelling at them, but pressure in a way of basically trying to get them to do their work, and then pushing them through it, pushing them through it, pushing them through it. Keep teaching them that even though they get a little sad, they get a little frustrated, they get a little confused is the better word that I like using. Even though they get a little, I'm not sure what to do, they still will keep looking at you for extra assistance, extra reinforcement. Where a dog like that, Johnny there, he just shuts down. He was like, I quit. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to make it happen. There's just some dogs that are just awesome. Some dogs that are just premium or the premium. And I feel like, for me, I've been able to have the experience of having him, and then having my dog Kahi back there, my shepherd back there, to be able to really help me out with slowing me down a little bit with what it is that I should be doing, and what it is that I should be focusing more upon, and what it is that I need to really dial in on more on, to be able to make sure that I'm taking care of myself, and taking care of myself in a way to be able to make sure that I can help you out. So you got to do what it is that you got to do, and to be able to make sure that you're able to get into a better place and a better situation. And that sun just looks, where is it? Over there. It's absolutely fantastic. That thing is absolutely amazing today. That thing just is a beautiful thing today, because it was, like I said, 70, but it feels like 85, almost 90 today. And it's just a very interesting concept that it's 85 degrees today, and just 4 days ago it was 12. And I hope that people are able to make sure that your bodies are good, that everything's going good with you. Because yesterday I had a little tiny little sickness in me, where I was like, I got to go to sleep maybe 15 minutes early today, because I got this little itch. Even right now, I feel like I got a little itch right there. It's like I might need to take me a couple of push-ups or a couple pull-ups or something to get me out of that. But I hope that people are able to really just get past this and get through this, and realize, like, the temperature changes is wild. It's wild. Like, for some reason, I had grass growing, but then it all died again because of the freeze. So it's like this whole year, I haven't had any grass growing at all. And it's a very, very interesting situation with that alone just lets me know that something, for me, I'm telling you, awesome, fantastic is happening next year. But for other people that do not have the skill sets to know how to be able to take care of some things, and be able to source their own food, be able to do what they got to do, you're going to be struggling. You're going to be struggling, and you're going to need some new skills, and you're going to have to acquire something different going on. And for me, I'm very, very thankful to be a part of this, to be able to be a person that's slow enough, not in the sense of I don't like to work fast to get stuff done, but slow enough to be very, very patient, to make sure that I can show you how to get something done if you need to get it done. That I can get you a small flock of chickens and show you the ropes a little bit of how to be able to do some things, so that you can take care of it in a way that I feel like, you know, the next person just might not be able to do so. Because in reality, the most that I've been doing out here is just figuring it out on my own. I watch everybody's YouTube shows. I watch everybody's videos. I watch all the homesteading videos. I watch all that stuff. But there's always something that people are always missing, or it's just me. I just didn't get it. And I feel like a lot of us don't do a lot of this stuff because we just don't get it. It just doesn't make sense to us. It's just super, super confusing. It's when this guy says this guy says this, this guy says this, and this guy says this. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense. And it's just like something as simple as, there was a guy telling me on a video that I was just watching, saying that if you don't give your chicks feed 100% of the time until they're 2 months old, they're gonna die by week 2. I'm looking at my chicks like, they still alive. They still looking good. They still growing. They still running along, looking really nice. And I ration it after the second week. I don't give them 100% feed. I only give them feed twice a day. And I make them eat that, and that's it. That's how they live, because I don't want them to have broken legs and broke down bodies. I want them to be strong. I want them to be up and running. I want them to be flapping their wings. I want them to be moving around. And there's people out there that say that they'll die if you do that. And in reality, majority of people say that they'll die if you do that. And mine are still growing. They're still cruising. I've done this many times so far, and I continue to keep doing it because I ran into the situation of just seeing fat, nasty, sloppy, disgusting looking animals. And that's something for me that I'm just not a part of. And there's going to be a time and a need that more and more people are going to want to have to do what it is that I do out here. And I'm going to be able to help people out with doing that. I'm not just some guy that's going to say, aha, look at you, you didn't do it, now you're behind, and now you can't eat. No, I'm not like that at all. I know who God is. And me knowing who God is, knowing that and everything that I do out here has been given to me from Him, through Him, to me, so that I can do what it is that I got to do. And there's no way that I just can't share that and can't be about making sure that more and more people are on board with being able to take care of themselves, be able to do some stuff for themselves. And that's just something to me that's just very, very awesome and really, really amazing. And today I just want to say very, very thanks to having such a really, really good walk today. Having a good time of really, really seeing what my dog is capable of and what I'm capable of, and coming up with an extra training plan. Because every time we go for a walk, we're always just upgrading, doing some different stuff. And it's just very interesting. There was a guy that had 4 kids. He'll fall at the same age. I don't know what you call that, but you got 4, so double twins. Quad. I don't know. This dude had 4. That's tough. I don't know what y'all, but man, imagine having 4 kids all at the same go. That's wild. That's almost like a challenge that I'm not gonna lie and say that I wouldn't want to try and do, but that's a serious challenge right there, to have 4 kids at one, have 4 babies all at the same time. But this dude was just looking at that dog. He's just like, this is a nice dog, and we was talking and chatting it up, and I'm just really seeing where the evolution and the progress is going with me and him, with what it is that we're able to do, and what where our relationship is based on how I've been treating him and how he's been treating me in reality at the same time. That it's not just what I do to him, it's what he does for me that really, really starts to work with us and start to have a good time. And I'm very, very thankful to be able to have him, to be able to keep on doing what it is I want to do with him. And I'm kind of wanting to pursue to get another one, to another I might get me a Dutch Shepherd or a Malinois, or I might find me a real good, it's going to be tough to find another German Shepherd. They're tough to find for what I'm looking for. I feel like I got lucky with that dog. It was just an absolute blessing for me to be able to get that specific dog, with his demeanor, his attitude, and his drive, and his passion, and how he is. That he's a very, very nice dog. He's got little issues, but we didn't work past those psychological issues that we get past that, and now he's turned into a very nice dog. But I really kind of want another one to start just double up and triple up and quadruple up on that, to really start to just have some fun and do some cool things and do some neat stuff. And I'm just so thankful to be able to be out here, to be able to do that. I'm so thankful that my baby chicks are just looking so good. They just running and playing and doing what they're doing, and shut the heat off for them now, to make sure that they're no longer under the heat source anymore. So they're just kind of have to learn how to survive all on their own, and because they'll be going out into the main field, not the main field, but the backfield. They'll be going out in the backfield in like, probably not even 2 weeks. They'll be out there in 2 weeks. I gotta build another chicken coop and put something together for them to be able to sleep in at night, just in case, and be able to huddle up around. But they'll be out in the main field in 2 weeks, and then they're really gonna start growing like crazy as soon as they hit that field. That's where the real interesting life is going to start happening, when they could just really spread out and do what they got to do. And I'm just so thankful to be able to have the space out here to keep doing this. And in reality, I'm kind of just yesterday was thinking about the next place that I'm moving to, that I kind of want to do that sooner than later, because I want to ramp up what it is that I'm doing, and I want to start building more permanent structures to be able to house and be able to take care of things that I want to take care of. And I'm super excited about that, because that's when I'm going to definitely be starting to need to bring more people on board with doing more of what it is that I really, really care about. I like working with some dogs, but I really like taking care of some animals and making sure that we're feeding, we're eating, making sure that we're good to go. And I'm super excited about that more than I feel like anything else on this planet. And I would like more and more people to be a part of that. And I'm just so thankful to be able to just get myself to get into it. That it wasn't easy. It was a big challenge. It was a big sacrifice. It was a big unknown. But it was something that was just needed, and something that I wanted, and something that I'm just super, super excited about being able to be a part of. That was a whole lot of talk right there that I just gave, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for having a good understanding of who God is and what He's all about. And I thank you for praying to Him to figure out how to be able to get some more guidance in your life, to be able to upgrade your life, to be able to get some more. And I thank you for having a better understanding of seeing and looking at your own self, like how much you are entitled. Like you're entitled with so many things in your life where you feel like you just should just start letting a lot of that go. Let a lot of this stuff go and start allowing God to be able to move further and further into your life. And I thank you for allowing God to be able to do that and being more open with having a good understanding that God is real, that He's true, that He's loving, that He's not of hate and jealousy and rage and anger. He's not of any of that. He doesn't bring any of that to you. And if you do have that, that's something of not Him. That's some outside sources that's causing you a whole lot of drama and a whole lot of issues that you should start praying to God more. And I thank you for doing that. And I got to head on out of here because I got some things I got to take care of. I got this beautiful steak that I'm about to cook up tonight that I wish I could share that with you. Thank you.